Science tells us that the atmosphere contains gases that are required to support life. They tell us that these gases include nitrogen, comprising of 78%, oxygen at 21%, argon at 0.93%, carbon dioxide at 0.04%, and other gases such as neon, helium, methane, krypton, and hydrogen. However, there is something very wrong with this picture. Science tells us that human beings breathe mainly oxygen, but there are more nitrogen in the air than oxygen. And there are more trees and vegetation than human beings on this earth. Yet there is only 0.04% carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. How can this be? Could science be wrong? I found a very interesting section on the nasa.gov website where they show the different layers of our atmosphere. First, we have the troposphere, which is at the Earth's surface and extends up to about 5 to 9 miles or 8 to 14.5 kilometers. This part of the atmosphere is the most dense, and all of our weather patterns occur at this region. Then we have the stratosphere. This extends to about 31 miles or 50 kilometers. They say that the ozone layer, which absorbs and scatters ultraviolet radiation, is in this layer. And above that, we have the mesosphere. This extends to about 53 miles or 85 kilometers. And in between the mesosphere and the thermosphere, we have the ionosphere. And they blatantly tell us that this is where all the radio communications are bounced off. So that is very suspect indeed. And above the mesosphere, we have the stratosphere. This extends to about 372 miles or 600 kilometers. This is the most important layer for me, because they say that satellites and the ISS can be found here. They also tell us that the temperature in the thermosphere can get up to 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,500 degrees centigrade. That is very, very hot indeed. Now, why would the temperature in the thermosphere be so high? The answer is really simple when you stop and think about it. They also tell us that as you rise, as the atmosphere is thinning, it should cool down or get cold as you're getting near the vacuum of space. However, the thermosphere is very hot. I believe this is where the sun and moon are traveling. This is the ether. It's a special medium that the ancient people talked about. Science mistake this area as the vacuum of space, but this is in fact a buffer zone between the level ground and the dome above. If you can picture the vast volumes of water in the oceans and the counteracting anti-pressure of the heavens act as a buffer zone which keeps the pressure on Earth constant. If there was an outer space and if it was a vacuum, then the equilibrium needed to keep the Earth pressure constant would not be achieved. Excuse my artistic endeavors, but if you can picture the ocean below, and as you go down deeper into the ocean, the pressure increases. Likewise, if you rise from the ground and go up in height, it's the opposite effect. The pressure decreases, and I believe the medium, the ether, is a buffer between the pressure of the sea and the dome above, keeping our pressure constant day in, day out. As a side note, look at the ground-based instrumentation they have represented on this diagram. Look how limited the range of LiDAR, radar, and optical telescopes are. That picture is very telling indeed. YouTuber Bart Sibrel has made a video entitled "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon." And I believe in that video he shows us that Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael, whatever his name is, Michael Collins, were in the ether. It's called the low Earth orbit. And I believe this proves that when you're up there, you are weightless, because the medium itself is not exactly a vacuum, but very similar. There is absolutely nothing there. It's just devoid of atmosphere. It's difficult to explain. That's what the ether is. That's where the sun and moon are. So I'm playing this video, "A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon" by Bart Sibrel, under the Fair Use Act. As you can see, they are in a craft way above the earth, and from their window they cannot see the whole of the earth. They can only see part of it. And from the window, what they're doing is they're masking it and shading it so that it looks like a sphere. This is all trickery done by the astronauts, in quotations. I recommend you go and watch this video to fully understand what I'm saying. Similarly, I believe there is some sort of craft up in the sky. They call it the ISS. But I believe there is a craft in the ether, and they do use it now and then, mixed with other footages of CGI, wire work, and underwater filming. They used real and fake footages to fool the public. Again, I'm playing this footage under fair use. I believe this footage was shot in the thermosphere or the ether, which they call low Earth orbit. So basically what I'm saying in this video is there is a case for ether, and this is where the sun, the moon and the stars travel. Thank you very much for watching.